Pinball Wizard in Tampa, Florida. See more better here with freeprescriptionlenses.com. And today I'm going to cut some extra special lenses. These are the Verilux X. Transitions XTRAactive brown with the gold flash mirror. They're going to go into the Oakley. These are the 5.0. Of course, this is your Oakley carrying bag cleaning cloth. But this is the model number 5099, which is the TinCup. 05 in the 53 eye size. It is, again, model number 5099. Color 01, which is the powder coal in the 53 eye size. And it also goes by the name of the TinCup 05 titanium. What I'm going to do is put a couple dots on your lenses. I'm going to take these lenses out and install your prescription Verilux X lenses. But I need to put 2 dots, since this is semi-rimless. It's actually a little thing of black monofilament, but there's no frame, so I need to put a couple dots on your lenses because I will have to trace the lenses themselves. The reason I'm raising it up is I want a light color background, and there's black posters in front of me. It's hard to put a black dot on a black line with a black poster behind it. Alright, that's good. Now if you guys missed any of that, let me recap. So, pop out the demo lens. Come on out, come on out. And let me grab my tracing tool. There's a line on the back of this. I'm lining up those 2 dots with that line. And press that on there firmly. Let me program this shape into the computer so years from now, if you need new lenses, I can send them right to your home. Your secret agent 1762. Now you're getting 2 pair of these. You're getting one and a different color with the silver flash mirror, and this one is the powder coal and the gold flash mirror. But I'm going to trace just the right lens. It's going to ask me for the bridge size, which is 18. The little stylus is going to go around and trace the outside of the right lens. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy genuine, authentic Oakley frame and you'll receive 1 free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or unused health savings account flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase. Now this is a unique thing. These are essentially the nicest pair of reading glasses you'll ever have. There is no power in the top. There's only plus 150 in the bottom for reading. But instead of taking reading glasses on and off, he just wants to wear these all the time. And I can make that happen. Now the pupillary distance is 29.5. The computer starts at 32.5. So I'm going to tap this minus button. It goes down to 0.5 millimeter increments before we get to 29.5. I want to raise the optical center height up to 18. Change the layout screen from single vision to progressive. Now the blue cross is the geometric center of your lens. Your eye is actually just inset from there. It's at the same height. So these lenses are already marked, and what I tried to do is show him usually clear lenses that comes with Verilux X painted onto the lens, but because of the mirror coating they did not do that. But since you're going to have 2 pair, what you can do, and I've tried everything to try and take pictures, but it's hard to focus on something clear. I even got the magnifier out. I held it over the barcodes on your thing, and I just couldn't focus. But since you'll have 2 pair, what I'm looking for is all progressives. Even though they're invisible, they have a laser engraving on the nasal side. The right lens, this is the nasal side that's going to go towards the nasal area, toward your bridge. There will be an insignia there. It will be the lowercase e with almost a half a circle above it. That is the emblem for the Verilux X. Just next to that is a P for polycarbonate. And then further over there is an X, but that there's a good chance it's going to be cut off when it's mounted into the frame, so you won't see that X anymore. On this side, where that line is, you will see the numbers 15, which stands for 150. That'll be on this side. what you want to look for. You can take these anywhere who wants to verify they got the Verilux X. If you take it to any optical shop that has a progressive identifier, when you put that in there, you will see the E with that little half a circle above it and the letter P. Over here on the side, just next to my thumb, is the letter X, but of course that's going to be cut off. So, and again on this side, you see 1-5. Now there's 2 circles on each side. There will be a circle here. That little dot you see there has a circle over that, and I put that there. That's the dot that you see here. So just below that you will see this letter E and then the P. They have different emblems. Verilux does. If you can see, let me grab this layout chart. Up here at the top, there's ones for the Ipsio, the Physio short, which has a H, and then there's the letter E with those 3 dots coming out there. Can you guys see that? I can't tell what you guys can see. On this side is the older lenses, the Panoramic, the Comfort, the Ellipse. There's a little E emblem in there for Essilor in all of these. And that's what you're going to look for. The Verilux X has the E with half a circle over the top. So that's how you can verify what you are getting is the real deal. That and anything you get from me is going to be the real deal. I've got nothing to hide. That's why I started showing videos. Since you can't come to my lab, I'm going to bring my lab to you. So we're going to take this right lens. We're going to lay it out. The orange crosshairs is where the optical centers are going to go. Get everything laid out there just perfectly. Those 2 dots have everything lined up. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't get your blocks ready. This is a block, or as I like to call it, Jenny from the block. I need to attach 2 double-sided adhesive stickers to those, of which I've got here. So I'm going to line up the first sticker. The black side is the sticky side. That's why it's going to stick onto here. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky on the second side. Now the silver button on the back is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice. The first time it's going to attach itself to another magnet there. Get everything laid out just perfectly. And hit that button. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the left lens. Your pupillary distance for the left eye is 30.5, so I'm going to tap that button. It's at 29.5 because it has mirrored what the left side has mirrored the right. But we're going to tap the plus button until we go up to 30.5. Same optical center height, the seg height, the vertical decentration. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Line up the magnet. We're going to, let me just make sure I put an extra line on there, which usually is on the outside. But what I was trying to do is get the camera to focus on that black line. It's just so hard to focus on. Oops, someone just made a purchase. Thank you very much. Whoa, go easy now. Go easy. Did I mention that these lenses have an incredible scratch coating on there? And we'll check all that in just a moment. So, don't you worry. Don't you worry. These are unbreakable bulletproof lenses with an incredible scratch coating. That's going to go through more than that in its lifetime. So it's good to get started now. So there's a break-in period. It knows what to do now. So I'm going to wake up the computer. This is the edger. This is what costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out, buy their own, put it on your kitchen counter. Then you can cut your own lenses in home and you won't need this clumsy guy with the 2 thumbs to do it for you. The cutting wheel is this diamond crusted wheel that's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away the lens material. This wheel in the center normally puts the bevel onto the lens, but let's do this. Let's show you some of the components that you normally don't see. Clean all this residue off. Some optical sawdust there, how about that? But because these are semi-rimless, you are going to have a groove cut all the way around the edge of your lens, which is going to hold it in place by this string. This is what puts the safety bevel on the lens. It's a very, very fine grit version of what's behind it, this larger wheel. This is a blade, and it's going to spin very fast and cut that groove into the lens. So we can wake the computer up. This is job 1762. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they were high index plastic or high index or Trivex, I would select that. I'm not going to polish the edge of the... Oh, you know what? He did say he did want polish. Hang on. He did say he wanted polished edges. I am going to put a safety bevel on the front convex surface of the lens and a heavier one on the back surface of the lens. So I'm going to press that on there firmly. Now the magnet's going to do its job a second time. It's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the chuck. Or by now, you know I like to call it the Charles because I just don't know this machine well enough to call it Chuck. I'm going to hit the green arrow, which is start. And actually, let me hit stop. I'm going to show you one more thing. This wheel that never gets used, that's the polishing wheel. This is the heavy grit wheel that's going to grind your lens material down until it's the final size. This groove puts the bevel onto the lens, but we're not going to use that in this case, but it is going to flatten out this side of the wheel just to remove any rough edges from the grooving cycle. And then this is going to polish the edge of the lens. So I'm going to hit start. This video is going to be a little bit longer than most with the grooving and the polishing. The lens is being traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. It's seeing the shape that it's cutting. And then, of course, measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know where to place the groove for the best fit possible. Hit the start button. The wheel is starting up. The light you see flickering in the background is water to catch the optical sawdust. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, where plastic, high-index plastic, and trivexel lenses cut wet, meaning that water sprays onto the lens on those materials for the duration of the cutting cycle. This will cut dry. Water will only spray onto the lens for the last 20 seconds to wash away any of the optical debris that you may see beginning to form on the edge of the lenses. But your lenses are made out of polycarbonate, which are 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They're virtually unbreakable. These are high-impact ballistics grade lenses. They have 100% UVA and UVB protection. These are the Transitions XTRAactive Brown, so they actually block 50 to 70% of the harmful blue light. They have their own back surface anti-glare coating, and of course, as I mentioned before, both front and back of the lens have a premium scratch coating, the hardest scratch coating possible on the lens. So you sacrifice nothing in these lenses. You get the Transitions XTRAactive, you get the blue light protection, you get the mirror coating, you get the anti-glare coating, you get 100% UVA and B protection, and the scratch coating. And a really cool look, but that's just a side effect. They throw that in for free. But these are the same lens material that our soldiers wear overseas in combat zones to protect their eyes from shrapnel and from flying debris in their Oakleys. And I was actually at dinner last night when I got a call on my cell line that is on the website. There's a soldier there that wanted some lenses for his target line, but they have to have anti-reflective coating because his lenses cannot have any reflection when he's out in the field. And I said, I can do that. So the lens is completely flat all the way around, just like a nickel. If I were to take it out now, it would stand up on the counter on its own. It's getting its own little, I wouldn't call it polishing, it's just smoothing everything out. So that spinning blade is now cutting the groove into the lens. It is going to cut a groove 0.6 of a millimeter deep and 0.6 of a millimeter wide, which is the thickness of this monofilament. Now, as of now, you can only get the mirror coating on the Transitions XTRAactive in either the gray or the brown. It comes in 6 colors: silver, gold, green, blue, red, and pink. And Pinball Wizard, just think you're going to have 1/3 of the available colors. Pinball Wizard got his name because he sells and restores and is very active in the pinball community. Of course, he also has some video games. He sent me a picture from his game room, which is unbelievably awesome. And when I first asked him about that, I said, how cool is your wife to let you, I said, how big is your basement that has all the video games in there? And he says it's actually a very large, or was it he has a guest bedroom. I think he even has some out in his living room area, which is a game room. So water is spraying onto the lens, it's going onto the polishing wheel to make the edges nice and clear. I explained the pros and cons of polishing. He said, let's do it. Some people do feel that a polished edge gives you a better cosmetic look. You know, for when people are looking at your profile, this is going to be polished, but of course you've got a black string here that's going to be half the width of your lens, so whatever part of that lens is showing will be polished all the way around. Of course, you're not going to see any of that in the top of the frame. But yeah, I was asking him how understanding is his wife to have that many video games in their house. And at first he said she was a little bit against it. Now they have the cool house that all the family members and everyone in their neighborhood wants to come over and hang out in because they have the most amount of fun. So instead of going out, everyone comes to their house, which is a blessing and a curse. So you have to keep it clean. Yeah, my house, my wife, she almost wants a week notice before I invite any friends over to watch any sports. I'm like, honey, they've been my friends since high school. You don't have to clean up. They're my buddies. They're my pals. You know, shoot. We used to pile into cars and go to concerts, sleep in the cars, take turns driving on road trips. 4 of us in one hotel room back in the old days. And yet, now my house has to be museum quality, according to my wife, before anyone's allowed over. Before we make a mess on the grill and eating and dirty every dish in the house, every pan. But the house has to be sterile before they walk in the door. Okay, all right. Whatever, honey. If that's what it takes for friends to come over, I'll do it. So, I'm going to dry everything off here. Now you have, let's go ahead, I can go ahead and start cutting the left lens. I'm going to press this on there firmly, put this on L, put the magnet into the Chuck, the Charles, the Chucky baby, or tonight it will go by the name Pinball Wizard. Hit the green start button. I can go ahead and take this block off, it is no longer needed, pull the sticker away, use my hand-approved drying method, throw that on there, place that on there. I'm going to run my thumbnail around the edge of the lens to try and get as much of that optical sawdust off that the water did not get in there, especially out of that bevel. I've got this toothbrush that I use to get in there and really clean that. Come on, I run my thumbnail around, but that's not enough, so that will get into those grooves. Not only on lenses, by the way, this is a new toothbrush that has never been in my mouth. I just won't say where it has been. No, I'm just kidding. But my mechanic one day told me, always save your old toothbrushes because they make great cleaning tools. He came over to do some, he's a friend of mine too, but he came over to do, from high school, but he came over to do some work on my yard on one of my mowers, and he needed to scrub something on the carburetor. He said, you got an old toothbrush? I actually had a new one in the wrapper, so I took the one I had and I used it to scrub everything down. These are great cleaning tools, so never throw away your old toothbrushes. Save them for just that occasion. Pinball Wizard, that's a free sample. When you're cleaning the electronic components, you can use that. Of course, you maybe use air in a can, but so you hear you always have to have the right tool for the job. From this time, the right tool for the job first is a little piece of plastic, like for wrapping presents. But I have to get the lens lined up in there just perfectly. It's folded in half. I'm going to grab that string with both sides. I'm grabbing both sides of the strap, start at the outside edge, and when you hear it snap, it's in the frame. I put my finger on the string, slide that back out. Now there's the pupillary distance. Let me darken that a little bit more. Actually, I'm just curious. Let's go down here and see if that X is still on the lens. Let's just see. Let's see. No, it is not, because that's the circle that I talked about the dot was in. and that's cut off nasally, so you don't even see that anymore in the letter P. We may be able to do it on the left eye due to the pupillary distance on the right eye. This is centered inward more. We have an extra millimeter of room on the left to find out. But if you have any questions, I can make a copy of your invoice and send that to you. This is the most expensive lens that you can get from Verilux, and that's why I want to take those extra measures to let you know that you are getting the real deal. But that's actually how I got started doing videos. My very first video, someone was told they can't get their certain prescription in a certain frame. He went to a couple different places. I said, not only can I do it, I'll show you how I do it. And that was my very first video. Now I checked the power of the lens and I'm getting 0. No power whatsoever, because your lens is again plano in both eyes for distance. He is 20/20, but he needs 1.5 diopters of magnification to be able to see up close. Now that is one good thing. Now with your other pair, if you hold this up to the light, you will see a 1.5 over here. There's going to be a circle. If you go straight out 17 millimeters and then go down 4 millimeters, there will be a circle. Below that circle is the number 1.5. That is the strength. That is right there. So that you'll be able to tell the strength of the progressive. Now this frame, the Oakley TinCup 05 titanium, sells for $320. The Verilux X sells for $299.99. The Transitions XTRAactive in gray or brown adds $99.99. And the mirror coating, which either of the 6 colors of the mirror coating, this happens to be gold, adds $69.99 for a total of $788.98. And we'll demonstrate that in just a moment. You can see a little bit of the polished edges. That looks good. That does, going all the way around. So again, it's going around on the polishing wheel, polishing the edges. That's something you don't see in most of my videos. That wheel on the far right. Yeah, he couldn't decide on what color to get, either the silver or gold, and so he got 2 frames and got the silver mirror on one, the gold on the other. Of course, I tried to get him to get Transitions XTRAactive gray in one frame just to give him 2 different looks, but he decided to go with brown in both of them. So it's getting the safety bevel on the back of the lens. And in just a moment we'll be done and we'll mount this lens into the frame. So I'm going to open that door with my mind. I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I know, you're tired of my jokes. That was funny first time you heard it. Alright, so take that off, dry the block off, put the sticker in my sticker collection, clean a little bit of that optical sawdust off. Let's just go ahead and do it all with the toothbrush. The lens brush is not a toothbrush. Go ahead and get the left lens mounted in there. Take out the demo. tuck that one in, grab that strap, start on the outside corner. And actually that one just moved in there easily. So we're going to come down here to the lensometer, put it in just above that black dot. Make sure everything is mounted perfectly, that everything's uniform. Yeah, okay. Read the power off of this lens. Again, I'm getting 0, no power. That's easy enough. And of course, 150 strength in the bottom. Is that string in there? Yeah, just make sure that's lined up in there. So this is the point in every video that as I clean your lenses, I mention that there's free shipping. Well, this purchase is tax-free because I'm in North Carolina. Oh, let me measure the pupillary distance. 29.5 for the right eye, 30.5 for the left, for a total of 60. Turn the card around when I place the PD stick against my thumb on your right lens. Let's do the millimeter side and not inches. And then we hold it up to the left lens. We're getting 60 millimeters, so that is cut perfectly. I did a special seg height for him for the invisible bifocal, which is at 18. He asked to have it a little bit lower. He had a place locally do it for him. They had him in front of him and measured him, and they felt like he put it too high. So I know what to do. This is not my first rodeo. But as I mentioned, this purchase is tax-free and includes free shipping anywhere in the U.S. and Tampa, Florida is in the U.S. But when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. So just stop by your local place, tell them if it's too loose or too tight or high on one side, they'll know what to do. And again, I'm part of that 80%. When I take mine off and set them on the counter, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. I'm not wearing my Oakley tonight. I left them at home, but I am wearing the BMW 6045 in color 50, which is the tortoise in the blue tortoise with a little bit extra blue in there. Of course, these have my Verilux X lenses. Let's just see on that left lens what's left on this one. All you can see is the P. You don't see any of that E. Oh well. That's it. He's going to tell when he puts these on because he's had trouble with progressives in the past. This has the widest intermediate of any of the lenses, and I think he's going to know that right off the bat. Of course, I send a selfie request to have your picture on the website. I also send out cleaning instructions not only on your frame and lenses, but for the premium microfiber cloth that I provide, as well as the Oakley cleaning cloth carrying bag and the case. So all of these will last you for years. But this is what your lenses look like the first time before they've been activated. Now, here's another teaching moment. You have all lenses, even if it's the clear demo lenses, will block about 1 to 2% of the light that passes through them. You have the Transitions XTRAactive. I have the Transitions Signature 7. Mine have about a 3 to 5% hue indoors. Yours has about 5 to 7% indoors. And unless you're very pale, if you have any pigment in your skin, no one is going to see that. It's going to look clear on you. But I'm going to go ahead and activate them, which means I'm going to expose them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light. Now, as you can see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for transition lenses to darken when you go outside. A little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15. Now, Pinball Wizard and everyone else listening, this is important. All transition lenses will get dark on day 1 and continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks are exposed. The only time that my Transition Signature 7 won't get dark is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield absorbs the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays, so your dashboard doesn't crack from sitting in the sun all day, and that's why they won't get dark in a car. Now, if you have a convertible or a motorcycle, they will darken. Now, the Transitions XTRAactive will get 30 to 50% dark behind a windshield. And they're also, all transition lenses are temperature sensitive, meaning they will get darker when it's 85 degrees and below than they will when it's 95 and above. But I remind everyone, when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody works 100% when it's 100 degrees. Having said that, these XTRAactive lenses will get darker in hotter weather because Pinball Wizard lives in Tampa, Florida, so it's always hot down there. So that's why these will get even darker than the regular lenses. So this is the Transitions XTRAactive brown. So when you look out, you see brown. When everyone looks at you, they see that gold mirror. The next pair will have the silver mirrored lens in there. Pretty cool look if you ask me. That's pretty sharp. And again, you're not sacrificing anything. It comes with its own proprietary anti-glare coating on the back surface, so I can't add any Crizal product. That's why it has that greenish hue on there. It has the gold mirror on the front, and it has the 50 to 70% ability to block harmful blue light as well. Now in about 45 seconds to a minute 15, these will return back to virtually clear, although I did expose them to a very strong burst of ultraviolet light, so it may take a little bit longer to turn back to virtually clear. But thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram as freeprescriptionlenses.com and on Twitter as freerxlenses. I also should have said I am an authorized Oakley dealer, but as a small independent optician, I was told I'm not legally allowed to post pictures of any Oakley frame with prices on my website. So if there's any frame you want, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com or simply click the contact me button. You can always leave a question or comment in the comment section below and I will respond. But again, this frame sells for $320. Some Oakley start around $133, I believe, and just go up from there. This is one of the high-end ones because it is titanium. So Pinball Wizard in Tampa, Florida, thank you for the purchase of the Verilux X Transitions XTRAactive brown with the gold flash mirror. And everyone else has got a chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.